So today is the Monday before Father's Day weekend, which means there's no reason for me to be packing the truck right now. I should be out crabbing. The problem is all of my helpers are pretty young and they're all going to senior week this week. So I have zero help. They're gone until the middle of the week. So I have Monday and Tuesday to get some stuff done. And what I'm gonna get done is forgetting what I was gonna say. I'm gonna go pick up the black tip, which is the little center console boat that I took to Florida, and I am headed to Smith Island, okay? There's a couple reasons that I'm going to Smith Island. One, I've never really been to Smith Island. I've been one time, briefly. And my friend Jay Fleming, he is staying down there for like a month. He is running photo workshops as a photographer, and he takes people out to also go photograph watermen. Fishing rods, some t-shirts to give away, fishing gear. Got the turtle box, got some of these decked boxes that are actually really cool for putting all your crap in because they're watertight as well. We're gonna load this up and go pick up the boat. If you're like me and you film with your phone, you're always needing new things to hold your phone. This little thing on the front side of a propane bottle is an awesome camera stand. So we are headed to Smith Island, and there's a couple missions here within the main mission. Arguably the main mission is to catch fish. John from the arena was actually supposed to come with me, and now he's not. It has become a solo trip, which I forgot my coffee at the house. Shoot, that's worth turning around for. I am not familiar with this part of Maryland at all. When it's time to fish down there, I'm always crabbing. The other thing is that I'm gonna try to buy some crabs while I'm in Smith Island to be able to sell for Father's Day weekend to make up for the crabs I'm not catching these days. If nothing else, I'd like to get some more soft crabs because our shed just kind of fell off. We sold all these crazy soft crabs and now we don't really have many. So Smith Island is kind of like the soft crab shedding capital of Maryland. Another thing I'm gonna try to do is meet Dora Lynn. Dora Lynn, who the boat is named after, that is the crab store. She lives on Smith Island, or lived on Smith Island. She may live on the mainland now, I'm not sure. I don't have a lot of information. You guys know right now just about as much as I do about this whole trip. I was supposed to leave a lot earlier, I know that. I know Jay is somewhere on the island, and I know that I have to get there. Now, John is not going. John was supposed to go, and he knows that area really, really, really well. So I have to go pick up the black tip, drive it down to past Cambridge somewhere, find a ramp where I can leave my truck overnight, launch the boat, and then fish, and then get to Smith Island, which I don't know how to get to Smith Island. I mean, obviously there's charts. I will just look at a chart and figure it out, but I've never been. It could be a disaster. I'm just going for the night, and then I'm coming home tomorrow. I keep forgetting things. I literally told Lindsay, I said, all right, see ya. I'll see you when I forget something. And here I am, 3 seconds later. I grabbed myself some bait. These soft crabs that sit in the tank a little too long, we call them paper shells. They're a little hard to eat. You still could. Most people don't want them a little softer though, but they stay on a fishing hook really, really well. And usually we just throw them overboard. Also the dead peelers that didn't make it all the way out, we call those stills. Excellent bait as well. Peeler crabs, probably the best bait in the bay. Everything eats a soft crab or a peeler crab. These are bait crabs. We call those stills, where the crab will start to shed and then it kills them a lot of times. It's just too much on them. The males in particular have a hard time shedding, especially in captivity. The thing about Smith Island is that it's literally only 84 miles from the capital of the United States, from Washington, D.C., yet it is the most isolated place in the entire state of Maryland, maybe one of the most isolated places on the East Coast. Smith Island was also settled in 1666 by some of the original American settlers, like English settlers. It's just pretty insane.
If you can figure out what the drift is, drift to the good spot. You know what I mean?
Like don't motor right up to it.
Don't motor right up to it.
Like sort of like fishing in Florida. I asked Jay where I could tie or launch. He said Crisfield, but you said Oriole. You know, I wouldn't mind being able to fish in and out.
But the only trick about Oriole is it's gaining water getting in and out of there. I mean, I can show you exactly how to do it. When I first went there, it was 30 years ago. They were all connected by road.
And now they're
separated. Boat ramp right here.
Right. I remember going out of there with you. It was real skinny. That's where that guy was crabbing out of that scrape boat.
You actually want to take this mark that's right at the point, between the point and the mark.
Really, it's that skinny there.
It's that skinny. And then you got to stay the same to this mark. You got to just stay on that. Oh no, I got it backwards. You want to be just off the outside the point side on this one, and just inside the point side on this one.
We got to make it from here And the plan is to be able to fish all around here and then make it to Smith Island. And it doesn't look like it takes all that long, but it's not a super short trip, about 40 minutes. And then I have to find Jay somewhere on here. Jay's got a house on each island, and I'm not sure which one he's even at. And the service is terrible. So I have been having a really hard time even getting a hold of Jay, figure out where he's gonna be. So I'm just gonna get to the island, and everybody knows Jay. And I think a lot of people are gonna know me. I'm just gonna start asking around, and hopefully I can figure out a place to find him and meet up. It's gonna be a little bit of an adventure. I'm actually kind of excited because it's not often I get to just kind of go on an adventure and figure it out, which is really what I like to do.
Northwest winds 5 to 10 miles an hour with gusts up to 20 miles an hour.
That's Baltimore. It said 20 though.
Yeah, I know.
It's gnarly. It's a little blowing. There is a lot of variables and very little planning involved in this trip. Let's see if I can pull something together here. We got the boat loaded up. The black tip, I'm sure you guys will remember this from my Florida trip. I've taken this boat to Florida the past couple years. This is the best boat ever. I'm not gonna get into that again, so I'll be here for an hour. It has since been fixed, even though I think I fixed it pretty well in Florida. Made it all the way back, and they used it for like 2 months like that. But the beam that broke has actually been replaced with some other scrap metal from another boat trailer. So another trailer gave up its life so this trailer could live on far past its expiration date. Yep, just a little bubble gum and paper clips on there. That's a non-issue. Lights potentially work. I don't know. Engine seems to run fine. I think there's fuel in it. There's 2 places to launch, Crisfield or Champ, which is like an Oriole. Champ is where I'd rather go. It's a little closer by car. I'd rather do the time in the boat than the car because we can fish. There's also a lot of really great fishing spots right around there. The issue is tomorrow the wind might not be right for us to get back there. It might be a little bit of a pain. We're gonna have to make that decision by the time we get there. Also, there's not a lot of crabs on Smith Island, but Jay is making some calls for me. I think that we're gonna be able to at least meet some people, hopefully get together a few crabs. I'd love to not come home empty-handed, because if you come home empty-handed, there ain't no crab. We never come home empty-handed. We get something, crabs, soft crabs, fish, or maybe cakes, sell them at the stand for Father's Day. This trip is a super Hail Mary. I did get a hold of Jay. He says he's in Tylerton. So Smith Island, I think, is like 3 islands. There's Tylerton, Ewell, and I cannot remember what the other one's called. Like I said, I'm not familiar with that area. I just have the hat. I'm trying to talk John into coming with me right now. John's pretty much my favorite fishing buddy, but that's not my brother. He fly fishes mostly, so he's really good. And a lot of times we can figure out, if I'm spin fishing, he's fly fishing, if they're biting on the fly or the spinner tackle or whatever, and then we can both either fly fish or both spin fish. But we got our Yeti cooler, our decked boxes, miscellaneous fishing bags, thanks to Molly's, and some fishing rods. We are probably forgetting most of the things that we need, but I'm sure we'll remember them by the time we get there. Ooh, John's packing his stuff up. I may have convinced him. There's fish to be caught.
And the work is just, I mean, it's just, I can't do anything about it other than sit and wait for the next.
Hurry up and wait.
Yeah.
We may as well be ripping lips while we're hurrying up and waiting.
Exactly.
We may need these.
You may need those.
That bill may be just long enough that I can't lick the window on the way down. John ties all his own flies, makes them out of junk. This is a popper that he made out of I think he takes milk jugs and cuts them out and then heats them up with a lighter and melts them to form them. But they catch fish, man. He uses all his own flies. He ties out all kinds of stuff. I'm always bringing him home different critter feathers and hair from hunting. But he's got a whole house with rooms. He's even got air conditioning, he said. If you want to swing by your house, that's fine. You got clothes on your back.
I got clothes on my back. I got some shorts.
You even brought your suitcase. This is a picture of John from when he was in college. I was just showing them this big picture of you standing next to this big ship's wheel in your Chiquita banana suit, smoking a pipe. Also, our pet crab, where'd he go? Oh, there he is. This is our pet crab that shed out that's like white. He's like partially, leucistic. He's getting hard though because he's biting the crap out of me. Starting to firm up. So if you guys have any name suggestions for this guy, we're gonna give him a little food where he lives here in the shedding tank. And name suggestions, drop it. And then maybe we'll put a tag on this crab or something and we'll let him go and see if anybody finds him or if we can put a tracker on him somehow. He needs a name. A couple shrimp heads for a snack. He's gonna eat that and be like, oh boy, that's what got me into this mess in the first place, was shrimp heads. I also just saw my first sign of raccoons getting into the tank because I know they can swim and all, but I thought that maybe it would deter them, but it took them about a week and now they're getting in here and they're wreaking havoc on my crabs, so we're gonna have to probably do something about that. I might be able to catch them in the act, so I'm gonna try putting a trail camera on here, seeing if I can catch these raccoons, and then we'll figure out a way to deter them from eating my profit. We may need some sunscreen, and I remember exactly seeing one on the ground over here the other day. SPF 50, I'm gonna come home whiter than I left. Luckily, being Asian, I do have a little bit of built-in sunscreen. Now, I know this is not like a fishing channel. It is, but it's not like a, you know, Blue Gabe or Fishaholic or Deer Meat for Dinner. But I'm gonna take you along with the adventure, because this is a channel about my crazy, convoluted life. Trying to make a living as a commercial crabber. You're just gonna go with me to witness either the disaster or the great success that is this trip. A little hack here to bring with you adventuring is this. You can just hook it to a car battery. It's got a charging port on it. So if you're like me and you need to use your phone or bring this with you, you can find a car, you can find a boat, anything you need, and just rob a little juice off it if you need it. If you don't stop at Wawa in Cambridge to get fuel, you definitely ain't no crabber. So John's driving, so I can get some work done on our way down, but I will say that traffic's been pretty terrible, so we are running a little behind. We're supposed to leave at like 7 a.m. where I was. We left about noon. As far as timeline, we're doing well. Trips like this tend to be the ones you remember the most because they either go really awesome or they go terribly wrong. Sometimes you have a little bit of both. I'm here for the adventure, and I drug John along too, so he's also here for the adventure.
I'm always up for an adventure.
John is always up for an adventure. That is one of the things it's one of John's best features. You can come to him 15 minutes after you were supposed to leave and be like, hey, you want to go spend the night on an island with a questionable place to stay and possibly bad weather? And he's like always down for it. So that's how we end up here. There's 2 wharfs, boat ramps we can go to. We can either go to the one in Oriole, which was the original plan, in Crisfield. Clearly a more logical decision here, but we didn't get this far by making logical decisions. So I don't know if we're about to start now. No, I know as you were watching us, you know that there's an obvious choice, which is to go to Crisfield. It's the safe bet. So we're in Oriole, because that's the adventurous bet, and my favorite boat at this entire place is here. This boat right here, look, it's even pumping out for us, putting on a little show. This thing is awesome. This is an old scraping boat, but check the cabin out on this thing, man. Look at that. It's like looking at the ground. It's very strange. But this boat, every time I've been here, I've actually seen this guy out crabbing. Never talked to him really, but it's really a cool boat. It's a scraping boat, so it's meant to catch peeler crabs, but I've seen him trout line out of it. I mean, there's not even a ceiling in that boat. He's just standing on the bottom of the boat. Boats like this are really cool because if you just look at them for about 5 minutes, you can kind of figure out every mechanical system on the boat and what it does and how it was built and what it was made out of. Weatherman claims 3 knot winds, but everything that we're actually seeing is begs to differ. This is 100% not a 3 knot wind here. Boy, it is pretty here though. This is freaking God's country. Cool work boats here too. We are no longer in Oriole, and that is because we tried and it was very windy. We're here in Crisfield. This is not exactly the scenery I was looking for. Get the boat loaded up, get it in the water, and we're headed to Smith Island. All right, see ya, I'm going home. Sucker. Hopefully my truck's still here when we get back, you never know. All right, we don't want to scratch the paint or anything. Perfect, that's why we have that bumper there. Well, this is Crisfield. Not a lot of stuff going on right now. Nothing's open. Crab pot's still up. And that is one heck of a shedding operation. That makes mine look, I mean, mine is kind of a joke. That is something serious. Look at all of them. Some serious soft crabs coming out of there. Under some locals. What's going on, guys? How you guys doing? Not much.
I didn't recognize.
No, you're good. Are you guys good with being on camera for YouTube video?
Yeah.
Sweet, dude. What? I'm going to Smith Island for a couple days. Yeah, I'm going. Oh yeah, really? Nice. What's your name?
My dad's Jamie Marshall.
Oh really? Okay, I know Jamie Marshall actually. That's crazy. That's cool. Yeah, man, for sure. What's up, guys? You guys cool with being on video? Is that cool? All right, sweet. What kind of boat is that? Oh yeah, that's pretty sweet. What kind of boat is this?
That's a Dixie.
Yeah, that's nice, man. That thing's pretty slick. Yeah, that looks good. What are your guys' names? What's your name?
Jack.
Jack?
Nathan.
Sweet, man. And I like that boat a lot. That thing's pretty slick. So Smith Island is right behind me. It's actually made up of 3 islands. What are the islands?
That's Rose Point. That's Ewell. This is Pilot.
Yeah, and they all used to be the same island, but now they're split up and there's all these crazy docks that aren't touching anything. Really interesting place. It's the last island in Maryland that's inhabited, that's only accessible by boat. It's probably one of the first inhabited islands in Maryland, places in Maryland, really.
This must be the landing.
Yeah, I think it is. One of the things that makes this place like super unique is that the people have a really distinct dialect. It's sort of like an accent. I mean, I guess it is an accent, super, super thick, but they say that the original English people, I guess, that came to America, this is the closest to the original accent that they would have had. This is one of the first settlements.
And it's been unchanged since.
Yeah, and it's been unchanged, you know, pretty much the same ever since. A very unique culture that I don't know a ton about. My buddy Jay is a huge expert. I mean, he's spending a month here. He does photo workshops. But it's a place that is unfortunately going away quickly. There's a lot of theories, but whatever it is, a lot of the land, a lot of the island is eroding into the bay very quickly, and so there's not many people left here. All of these piers used to be connected to land, but you know, as it goes, they are no longer connected to land. This is one of the ferries that brings people from the mainland. Let's get a layout. Welcome to Tylerton, Smith Island. So, looks like there's Ewell, Rhodes Point, Tylerton. This is where we are. And this is the Maryland and Virginia line, I guess, right?
Looks like the south end is in Virginia.
Yeah, it's weird. So we are about right in here, as far as I understand. Oh, here we go. We are here. County dock, yep, that's where we're tied up. Co-op. Fire department, a school, post office, a market, and a church. Charming little place. There's also very, very few cars on the island. Cars are very highly coveted. There's mostly golf carts.
It's fresh meat over here now.
All I know, I got off that boat. I said, man, I'll just find some shelter.
Did you still have any pots out, or you?
Yeah, I got a 900 over, you know.
No.
Nice. Well, you're what we call down here a big rigger.
Oh yeah, man, up there, there's guys got huge rigs.
It's 6 o'clock. Let's go.
Stand.
You gotta say our pledge.
Hats off. Let's leave.
There he is.
We interrupting here? There's Jack.
Oh, there he is. What's going on?
Okay, meeting is called to order.
We're going fishing. We'll catch you guys later.
We'll see you guys. We'll be here overnight and everything. Right in there in that red house, I guess. So, it was really nice meeting you guys. It was nice seeing you guys. I'm sure I'll see you before I get out of here.
Stop at a boatyard tomorrow.
Sounds good. I will. Appreciate it.
Get him out there, Jay.
We'll see you guys.
We found Jay. We made it. We found Jay.
I'm here.
We were just walking. They were like, "Oh, you bought my dad's boat."
That's my house right there.
I like it. It looks good, Jay.
Rustic, but
It comes with a truck, though. The pump was extra. Actually, he bought that at a yard sale this year.
By the by the greenheads.
you look like a tourist.
Man, that is cool. Just this perspective with the
Sunset.
yeah, that is freaking slick. So this is downtown Smith Island here, man.
This is the big city of Ewell. All 90 people that live here.
90 people live here, huh? And this is Mark. It's the man we're here to see, right?
About the same.
35.
Oh, really?
So 35 people live on Tylerton, and 90 people live here
Probably
on
like 30 on Rhodes
Dory
Point.
Q. I've recognized this boat, Jay.
Yeah, I've got pictures of her.
This is Mr. Mark. What's his last
Mark
name?
Kitchen.
Mark Kitchen.
Hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I'm Luke.
Mark, nice, Mark Kitchen.
My buddy
Mark, I'm John.
Hey, John, how you doing?
Good to meet you.
This boat kind of looks like mine, honestly. A little bit. Same shape.
It's just 28 foot. Yours a little bigger than that. Yours like 32?
34.
34?
Yeah, mine's a cut down houseboat.
Nice looking boat.
Not to say that to be nice. It's not that pretty.
It does the job.
It's not a bad
This
look.
ain't pretty either. You want to look at operation?
Yeah, you got anything in there? I mean,
Hardly anything.
really,
No,
it's been
wait.
bad, huh?
Yeah, it's like, well, it's awful. I've been scraping for 40 years. Before that, my father-in-law had done it 20-some years before I started. We always started out the same way. As soon as you start scraping every year, you have a good run, and then that's followed by a second run. And in the past 5 or 6 years, we've not had any of them. Nothing good until July.
Really?
And that's, historically, it was always different. And we're down to just 5 or 6 boats of us now. Back then, we had 40, 50 boats doing the same job in all the area here.
So that's just where you keep your spare wheel, huh?
I hadn't fellows, we ain't never got it yet.
Yeah.
How many years has it been in there?
Well, it's just this spring.
Just this spring.
Well, that's good storage there. Ain't no problem. That's where I'd keep it.
So this is your crab shanty here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got home with nothing. I got home with nothing going on. I went out today and didn't get 5 or 6 crabs on it.
That was it, 5 or 6, huh?
Yeah, just little places.
You're running that straight boat, pulling that little dredge through the grass, right? And real shallow and just catching, you're trying to catch peelers.
Yeah, all this is the area we've been working. I mean, that's been worked for 100 years.
Yeah. So it's just changed from what it was.
It's changed. We always had a decent 20-week season.
Right.
Started first of May and running into October. Now it's like lucky 10 good weeks when it gets good. The first run we'll get a few doublers, which we never started on doubles before. Now we start on doublers, and then you got to wait for everything to grow up.
Right. Oh yeah, they're getting it all in there.
You got the main part there.
Oh yeah.
And there's some nice sized crabs, but just not that many of them. We used to ship a lot of crabs to New York. It was easier to get crabs to New York in the 40s and 50s than it was right now to the island.
Really?
Yeah, because we just put them on the boat. We didn't have to do anything other than put them on the boat. The freight companies in Fishville would just come pick up the crabs and take care of everything else.
Well, this is pretty cool. I mean, I have 2 of these tanks at my house.
Yeah.
That I was shedding crabs out of, but this is a whole operation. I'm sure when you guys really get going, like, do you stay in here like pretty much all night and babysit them?
No. We don't care if they get a little stuff. We're here pretty early in the morning.
Yeah.
But when you get a peeler run, it will wear you out. I mean, you're just
yeah.
You're just intolerant.
You have a couple hours.
Yeah, a couple hours, and you come in here and look, and everything's turning to phosphorus.
I hope you catch more crabs for Wednesday. Not going to be much to show photographers.
We're running out of options.
I know.
How you guys doing?
How you doing?
Good to meet you. I watch you all the time.
Oh, awesome, man. I appreciate it. What's your name?
Buddy Evans.
Buddy? Nice to meet you. I'm Luke.
I know who you are. You don't have to introduce yourself. Lifetime waterman.
Oh, yeah?
13th generation.
Wow. Son of a gun. Your greats were out there in a loincloth and a canoe catching
I enjoy watching your videos.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate it.
You got Mr. Harvey's boat up on your property there?
I do. Then I put the name back on it and everything. And
I know you did. Hey, listen, my dad's 84-year-old, right? And he watches your videos. He gets a kick out of it.
And he was a waterman too?
Oh, he still is.
Really?
Yeah.
You want to fish? You want to rock fish?
What'd you get? You have some luck?
Give her a fish, yeah.
I'll trade you fish for beer.
Yeah.
How'd you do?
Perfect.
I mean, we caught 2.
Shalante, my friends.
Thank you.
Shalate?
Shalante is Irish. Shalante.
Okay. You got any hard crabs?
No problem.
I do spring hard crabbing, which I just got done with because it becomes a
How do you like
sanctuary
Cuba?
down in Virginia.
Oh, gotcha.
Isn't it
I was
amazing
looking to
place?
try to buy some crabs
in the 60s,
while I was here. Take home with me tomorrow.
Vegas.
I'm not.
It was going to be like Palm Beach.
Yeah, that's what they've all said. There's no crabs.
Vegas.
It's so different than what it used to be.
Right, that's what they were saying up there.
If I could help anybody.
They used to get our 3-year-old.
I appreciate that, man.
You got a lot of wisdom for such a young guy.
I guess I've done a lot of stuff. I don't know.
I'm very impressed.
Well, I appreciate
and the
that.
coverage you done on that collision with the bridge.
Oh yeah.
You were spot on that on what happened with that ship. I enjoy your videos.
Thank you.
Even my 84-year-old dad does.
I like that. That makes me happy to hear. I like that.
You keep it going.
Thank you. I really do appreciate
I don't
that.
know why you're hanging out with Jay. But
I don't either. Well, free boat ride, you know what I mean? It's easier than my
I
own.
don't charge you for gas.
Yeah, Buddy's, he's class act.
I'll tell you what, they're some friendly people, man. That's a boat right there.
Yeah, that's Lady Laura.
See, they're doing it here like we do it at the marina. Space is a hot commodity, so we got stuff floating on floating pontoon boats, making more real estate. They're doing the same.
You couldn't get a permit to build a platform at home.
Yeah, right. They never heard of a permit. They just do it.
Nope, not
Some pretty boats here, though.
That's an O'Neill Jones.
Yeah.
That's a Markley.
Really, that little.
That's a 28 Markley.
So would it be fair to say that a lot of the guys here, they're trying to switch to do other things besides just make money crabbing and fishing?
Yeah, they're trying to diversify. Like Mark, who we just talked to, he's getting into doing eco tours, like tours of crab house, to supplement his income crabbing. It's pretty slim, as he said.
Yeah, it's been pretty bad here the last few years in particular.
Mark's trying to pick up photography tips from me. He's trying to do photography.
Man, after tomorrow, he's gonna be starting a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
What aperture would you use? What ISO would you use? Like, Mark, I'm not telling you. You're coming to my market. This used to be a oyster shucking house. And
A little skiff stuck up on the pier. Do you know them? Should we fix it?
No, I don't. The tide's still falling.
Yeah, it looked like the edge was stuck up on there.
Let's go fix it for him.
All right.
I'd want somebody to do the same for me.
Yeah. Oh, there's a nice walk-in right there.
So that used to be a crab picking plant, an oyster shucking house.
Really? Is there Airbnbs here? Is there places people
Actually,
could come
this place,
stay?
Levering Creek Cottage, that's an Airbnb.
Gotcha. So you could come and you could go to Crisfield.
Yeah.
You could catch the ferry, come here and rent an Airbnb.
Yep, and that's really the best way to do it. I mean, coming out here for a day trip, you can't really see the whole place.
Yeah.
You want to be here at like sunset when the light's pretty, and then out in the morning if you want to see the watermen working.
Really, the best way to do is have a boat. Because then you can go explore.
Just take a Jay Fleming photography workshop.
Yeah, that's right. Where could they where could they book one of those?
They're all sold out for the next 5 years.
This might be a 2-person job.
All right, let's see if we can get it. Nice. That classic Smith Island meal on Smith Island.
How do you say it? Asparagus?
No, spargus.
Spargus.
Crab cake's fantastic.
All right, good.
Made by a real genuine Smith Islander, Missy.
Genuine heathen.
Stop. You're making my head swell.
We made it to Smith Island. Shacked up here at a real Smith Island house. Maybe I'll give you guys a little tour of it tomorrow morning. Met some really awesome people. We did make it to the island. There does not seem to be many crabs here. So we may have to come up with a plan B. There's also no fish. We have not caught any fish. We have made it. Objective number 1, not looking great. Objective number 2, also not looking great. Objective number 3, also not looking great because I think Dora Lynn moved off the island about 3 days ago. Lived here her whole life. Moved off 3 days before I got here. We'll still see. We still need to find some crabs, some soft crabs, and possibly Miss Dora Lynn herself. So it's 4 a.m. here on the island. One of the things that's kind of unique about the island is all the houses, right? Well, the fact that there's houses here and the style house, it's pretty classic. This is a pretty classic looking Smith Island house that we stayed at last night. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a tour, and it's right next to the cemetery. Seems like there's a lot of cemeteries on the island. Most of the residents stay a while. So this is the house. And it's a pretty classic Smith Island house inside and out. No house of this era would be complete without some sort of depiction of the face of Jesus Christ himself. This is the Smith Island yearbook. Jay, do you have that flashlight?
Yeah.
You need a flashlight for like most of the house. At least the room with all the cool stuff in it. So these are all arrowheads apparently like from the island. And what was the guy's name?
Waverly Evans.
Wave.
Here he
It's a
was.
Good name for a waterman.
Waterman
It
of the
is.
Year.
That's got to be the envy of most men on Smith Island right there.
Every year,
It's the envy of all real men.
That's right.
Every year, Chris Field does a Waterman of the Year ceremony. And there's pretty much everybody gets it now because there's water.
Yeah, you stick around long enough, your chances get a lot better.
Here's his boat, Miss Evans.
Wow, so that's a picture of the island. What year do you think that's from?
That was probably the 50s. They used to have a crab company they called Star Crab Company where they shed soft crabs across the creek.
There's a picture of Waverly here, huh?
When he passed in the...
Look at that, they got their wooden mast and gaffs.
When he passed, he was the oldest man on the island. He was like 97.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, thanks for letting us stay in your house.
Yeah. Thank Missy, not me. Little skipjack model.
Pretty cool. There's a model of the McFaddens.
On it.
So skipjacks are the sailing oyster boats. Smith Island, especially this whole area, a lot of history with these. There's still, what, like 16 working? There was a few years ago. I'm sure there's a lot less now. Yeah, probably a dozen or less now, but there was hundreds of them at one point.
I think it might be down to 8. I mean, there's at least a
Not
dozen
many of
around,
them.
but most of them are doing tours. And
Yeah.
That's Waverly making his crafts. He would make like, he'd paint stuff on the bottom of bushel baskets that he found.
And he lived his whole life here, right?
Yeah. He was also a veteran, World War II veteran. He was in the Pacific.
born in 1927.
Got the taxidermy crab. Oh, he was also apparently the fire chief. Megalodon tooth. Oh yeah. There's a picture of Waverly. Here's the little upstairs room, the bunkhouse kind of thing. This house is really like a time capsule. It's kind of cool. Nobody lives here anymore, but this was Missy's parents' house, so she let us stay here. This is the other room. No house of this era is complete without some dolls that stare at you while you sleep. But I'm sure they're friendly. They seem to be nice. They didn't bother anybody last night. All right, see you later. Thanks for leaving us alone. That's the firehouse that we were in yesterday.
You have your moment with the dolls?
We did. Yeah, I thank them for leaving us alone. And this is the kitchen here, which is also sort of a time capsule. And the funny thing is, on Smith Island, everything is based on crabs and fish and seafood. And here, they have everything decorated in apples, which is just kind of funny because, I mean, there's no apple trees on the island, that's for sure. And then you go onto the mainland and everybody's house is decorated in crabs. Look at that.
An apple note holder.
Wow, and it wouldn't be complete without a stuffed animal watching you do it.
Candle.
Yep.
Apple wallpaper.
Yeah, he's gonna make sure nobody steals that.
We have apple hangers with apple-shaped fly swatter. It's not even a fly swatter. I don't even know what that is.
Apple fly swatter.
Oh, that is an apple fly swatter. Son of a gun. These significantly bring up the amount of buildings that are on Smith Island. Mike Corbin. Corbin is the last name of the family that the Dorlin came from. Dorlin's last name was Corbin. Yeah, pretty interesting. It's a time capsule, that's for sure.
Get some purple markings.
Well, I tell you, they're sitting on valuable real estate, Jay. We got to plow those birdhouses over and build another house for humans, buddy.
We just need more purple markings.
Really, we need less bugs. They got the same pontoon boat we do. What is it? Oh, really? It's pretty cool. Oh yeah, there's a terrapin.
Dinner comes easy out here.
Yeah, man. Maryland state turtle right there.
It's a pretty one.
This is terrapin season.
Boy, that is a pretty one. He's going to eat good. I'll tell you
female
what.
coming up on land to lay its eggs.
Well, guess we're having eggs for breakfast.
Yeah. Scrambled turtle eggs. Fried turtle eggs.
That's right. We'll just purge her in the bathtub for a little while.
We'll just put her in the bucket on the boat.
Well, the boat's still here. That's good. Apparently, there's like no crime on the island because, I mean, everybody that's left here really wants to be here. And they all know each other or they're related.
They know everybody else's stuff.
Yeah, exactly. When it's really hard to get stuff to the island, you don't lose track of it. So if you see somebody with stuff that was yours, you know it. And so does everybody else. It's honestly so nice. Like, everybody we met's really nice. It's not easy to live here. Everybody that's left here is working to be here. They want to be here. So it makes it a pretty nice place. Dang, the boat's not even sinking. We're heading today. It's already a wind. The water come out. I turned on the filter off. We're headed over to one of the other houses Jay rents, get some breakfast before I think we're gonna go check up with some guys that are scraping for peeler crabs. Because I've never seen that. That's not something they do where I'm at all.
We've been having a transducer issue, so we're just gonna follow Jay.
Another one of my missions is to maybe find a boat that may be for sale. I'm always in the market for another boat. And this is ground zero for work boats and crabber. I don't know, there's a couple nice ones.
Actually, I think we met the guy yesterday that owns the boatyard in the firehouse.
That's a beautiful boat, though.
That is a beautiful boat. That's a very, very, very similar boat to the Dorlin. Very similar shape, probably built in the same place, Deltaville, Virginia, I have to guess. They got their storage over here a lot. Those are also the guys that I may potentially be able to buy some soft crabs off of, hopefully for Father's Day. It's nice to be able to get something. Running lights. It's okay to have them, but if they work, it ain't no crabber.
Running lights are not required on Smith Island. Optional.
As long as it's running, it's good. Yeah, I like it out here. They do it the way I do it. If it works, it works.
Like makeshift.
Yep. They don't have an option. I'm just cheap.
You don't have an option either, no.
Yeah, that's true.
You're just financially challenged.
Yeah.
You wait till you see the big house.
Is that your bike? You got pegs we can ride on, dude?
Yeah, you can ride on the handlebars.
Nice.
Look at this dock line, Jay.
Oh man, that is some.
He's using the same stuff for his bumpers, man.
That's Luke's leftover crab pot line.
That ain't leftover, bud. That's out of the stash. That's the good stuff. That's a Franklin number 9. Coveted crab pot line around here.
You left on my boat last year.
See, I know. I leave everybody I bum rides off of. I leave with gifts.
There's a crab boat coming out, leaving a big wake here.
We wouldn't want to scratch the black tip, John. That would really be a shame.
Yeah.
Jay's boat, whatever. It can be fixed. This boat, it's literally irreplaceable.
Thank goodness Luke McFadden's here.
Dude, I was just gonna say this is turning into a Luke video. Jay's bilge pump just quit. Oh, that's leaking within tolerance, Jay. That's fine. I wouldn't worry about that much at all.
It did rain last night.
Is that boatyard back there, Jay? Is that the one that?
Marshall's.
Is that the guy that we?
Fire hall.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
He wants you to come over there.
Yeah, sounds good.
So that's his son is the one we met on the little boat.
No, different Marshall.
Oh. But he said
Car. Not many of them. Any boats for sale around here, Jay? Do a little boat shopping?
I did buy a sunken boat with a lien on it last year, so buyer beware.
I think it's probably like you find one you like, and then you find the guy that owns it, and then you try to offer him money.
That's pretty much what happened. I waited for a nor'easter to sink the boat. And then when the boat was sunk, I offered him cash.
That's the best way to get
A
it.
year later, we found out the title had a lien on it, and it was registered to a man who died in 2008. His estate wasn't even transferred to his wife. Everything just was being registered as it was when he was alive.
That's the best kind of boat, dude. It's a ghost boat.
including his voter registration.
We transferred the title to his wife, and the bank went out of business in like 2005, so we had to get the lien released by the bank in order for me to get my boat titled. And this is after I spent about 20 grand to restore it. So I was sweating bullets.
I bet.
What you do in that case is you
Scratch out the serial number.
Yeah, burn it off. Yep. That's a cool boat. There's a beer
Last call.
made after that boat. Yeah, I know. That's what it just says. The beer boat.
The boat. My friend John lives on the houseboat.
My friend John also almost lives on a houseboat. That's a Smith Island license plate right there.
Is that a Pharaoh? No idea.
There's also a Smith Island license plate. A lot of super cool and interesting locals around here that live on boats and all kinds of things. It's a nice boat. They still work out of this boat, Jay?
Hardly. Maybe
Really?
like one day a year.
That one's nice. That one even comes with a motor. It's a Mako 22 Ocean. I have that same boat. That's a nice one.
What's up, buddy? We're just playing around this morning. This is my friend Luke.
How you doing?
Hey, he's making videos. Yeah. How are you?
I'm fine.
You fine? Hanging in there?
Hanging in there.
I like your boat.
Yeah, a lot of people do.
How long you been here on Smith Island?
Long enough.
Long enough? So you're not from here, you just...
Yeah, I'm from here.
Oh, you are from here?
I'm originally from Tangier.
Oh, I gotcha.
I was born in Tangier and moved up here.
Had to go explore the other island, huh? You stuck around.
No, yeah. Oh, don't worry, I'm stuck here. You can best believe that.
Why, because your boat don't run?
No.
Jay will tow you out. He'll take you wherever you want.
No. I see Shorty didn't leave nowhere.
Your brother?
Yeah, this is gonna get told. Trust me, it's gonna be well known. He thinks he's gonna take.
What's he trying to take?
Old work.
Oh.
His brother. They've got a feud.
Oh.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, there's a bit of a feud between the two of them.
Huh. Does he live Here too?
Do we have to take a side?
Down the road.
Yeah.
We got your back.
No, I ain't worried about that. I'm getting old, but I ain't getting that old.
Told this group of women on my workshop, he said, ladies, there may be snow on the mountain, but there's still a fire in the furnace. They're like, oh.
One of the things I love about Smith Island is it's like everything that I look for on Facebook Marketplace, but in like a whole island made of everything that I look for on Facebook Marketplace. I mean, it's good looking crab pots right here. You got some dredges. That's a nice dip tank, actually.
Shelby.
I got all kinds of nice stuff down here. Mufflers, set of patent tongs covered in oysters. That's kind of ironic.
Mother Nature takes back.
Yeah, right. She's getting hers now. A lot of interesting stuff. I like this place a lot, actually.
Write that sign. Get it.
I need that sign. I just need to take that sign.
We're on Yule?
Rhodes
right
Point.
now? Rhodes Point. How many people live on Rhodes Point?
I'd say about 30 or 40. Main town of Yule. So. Morning. Good
Morning. So Rhodes Point and Yule are connected by a road.
Yeah, this road goes all the way.
Not Tylerton. Tylerton's its own island.
This road that we're walking on goes all the way through the marsh.
Gotcha.
15-minute, 20-minute golf cart ride. We did it by golf cart.
Or you just take the Nike Express, dude, beat feet all the way there. That's what we're doing. Look, these are nice shoes. Boy, that's pretty, isn't it? It's a semi-rare sight on the island. There's a lot more golf carts than cars. Oh, here's Jay's other house. He was holding out on us, to say the least. Oh my gosh. Are you serious, dude?
They weren't paying me enough.
Bro, how many, are there dolls in here?
No dolls, 5 bedrooms.
He just wanted us to have a more authentic.
Yeah, this is
It was for our own benefit. Don't think that it was because you're a second-class guest.
yeah. Wow, this is
I only reserve that house for people who I know can handle it.
this is called Smith Island cake. This is kind of their, I don't know, claim to fame here, one of them. And it's how many layers?
8 to 10 layers.
Yeah, so and then they have icing in between them. This is really good.
Smith Island cake at 5:30 in the morning on a paper plate.
That's right. Hey,
That's
we're living in the lap of luxury now, man.
Authentic.
See, the big house is all full of Jay's own pictures that he's managed to sell the owner. It's almost like an inside job. With the third floor is nice. Wow, that's beautiful. Wow, that is one heck of a view. My goodness. Wow. You can rent this house on Airbnb. There's actually quite a few rentals. That'd be an awesome vacation, honestly. I'd love to take Lindsay out here. Take a boat, rent a boat. If you have a boat, take a boat here, tie it up, and hang out on the island. There's not really much to do unless you like doing nothing, which is exactly what I like to do on vacation. Meaning, like, I don't go on vacation to go to mini golf and whatever. I want to go where people aren't. Boy, you'd be hard-pressed to find a much prettier place on Earth. Look at that.
For this month, yeah. That might surpass all the crabbing found. Can you imagine this house in like Charleston or
Ooh, look at that little boat. We're gonna have to put a big diesel engine on that or something. So all the way over there's the target ship.
Point lookout on that boat one time.
Five Point Lookout.
Right in here.
That's a hike.
And that's Reedville, Virginia, back over there.
Oh, there's my buddy John Tyler, Johnny Krantz. He's leaving to go crab scraping.
There's a muskrat going out to meet him, saying, "I'm gonna go."
Oh yeah, there's a muskrat. He's going out to go crab scraping.
Yeah, so he's catching crabs for my workshops. That's all he's working for right now, is to catch crabs for my trips.
Big Daddy Jay bringing industry to the island. We're gonna go catch that guy crab scraping, go see what it looks like to do that on his boat. Since we're here, when in Rome, do as they do. So we're gonna go and check out something that I don't get to see at home, which is crab scraping for peeler crabs. This place is super cool for a lot of reasons, but it's basically like an island of watermen built on DIY. Like, this is such an awesome place for me. You just look around and you can just see like I don't know, like the ingenuity of the people. It's all just out of necessity because it's so hard to get things to and from an island. This used to be a really economically booming place, kind of the decline of watermen and the things that they catch. There's just not a lot left. A lot of people have switched to ecotourism, taking cruises, taking tours, renting Airbnbs, doing field trips, or getting jobs on the mainland. Missy, she worked for the phone company for 25 years, and she commuted in a boat every single day. Here, back to Crisfield was about 6 miles by boat to go to work, and then retired. Where there's a will, there's a way. Places like this are prime examples of that. Oh, there you go. There's a little plug right there. You go to Crisfield, Maryland, catch a ferry to here. I think they have 1 or 2 that leaves a day or something like that. You can find all that stuff online. There's plenty of people that will take you out there. I think the best way would be to have a boat. Don't come here expecting to be able to eat at Friendly's and go play mini golf, because there's none of that here. This is just God's country. Really where I would like to spend more time, and less time in commercialized whatever. But you want to fish and crab and enjoy this, Smith Island's the place, man, and they would appreciate your tourism dollars. Not that they're necessarily hurting. I mean, the people here are fine, lived here for a long time. They seem to be doing really well, but they don't need any help or anything. But, you know, a lot of them do make their money on renting Airbnbs and cleaning houses and stuff like that. And this ain't a Smith Island, like, advertisement or anything, but I'm just, through showing you, it sort of is. And I came here to try to catch a couple fish and to try to buy some crabs for Father's Day, because crabbing skinny at home and my crew's gone, and it's kind of turning into just like a Smith Island appreciation trip. August 2nd, 2022, a tornado
hit this house.
Took the top layer off this house. They had to rebuild it.
So this shallow grass flat that we're on is called North End Bottom, and it's pretty much the only spot where the Smith Island crabbers are working right now. There's about 6 scrapers working here. You know, a lot of people would think that scraping kind of tears up the grass, but the grass comes back every year in North End Bottom, and this is pretty much where they've been working for like 5 years straight. So it's good to see that healthy grass.
And they're scraping, pulling dredges to catch peeler crabs to shed in the soft.
It's what they're doing is they're pretty much dragging like a toothless dredge with a net on it to catch peeler crabs, soft crabs, and a few hard crabs.
That's a classic crab scraping boat. So you said Smith Island retirements, when you you pay for the mast and the boom, pull in your crab scrape.
I mean, you'll see when we pull up to Alan when he's pulling the scrape. It's hard work to pull these scrapes in my hand.
Yeah.
They're full of grass, full of crabs. It's a heavy load to pull in.
John's up there trying to spot fish. He's looking for fishies. How you doing? Good. Pulling that crab scrape. Look at that, we got matching hats. He pulls that thing in by hand. See, I talked John into a fishing trip, and now I'm chasing crabbers around trying to get some videos. So we gotta get John on some fish here.
Turned into a photo.
Before he jumps overboard and starts trying to catch them. Kind of figured trying to find some soft crabs and hard crabs, the best thing to do is just to go right to the source, where they're literally working here on Smith Island. John's on a mission to catch a fish, as am I. I'm also on a mission to try to find something to sell this weekend.
Jay's already caught their limit, so he's good.
He's got a hydraulic mast and gaff. Mark Kitchen. He's the guy that we were in the shedding house with yesterday. He was putting that dredge on his boat, said he was going to try and do dredge. We're going to hop on with him real quick.
Doing any better today?
No, not really.
Look at all those little crabs. It is good to see all them little crabs. It's funny, it's just not something we see at, you know, crab potting like I crab pot.
No.
We see like little stuff occasionally, like dumping out of the corners, you know, when we pull the pot up.
And sometimes hanging on your line.
Right, there. They'll be in the bait well if they're like really little. That's cool. There's a pipefish.
Yeah.
There, it's like a Chesapeake seahorse, basically. How long do you think it would take a little crab like that, it's about the size of your thumbnail, to be a market-sized crab?
I would say sometime next year.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, this crab has probably already been a soft crab 2 or 3 times this year already.
Really? Even at that small? Yeah, it's just really cool to see because we just don't see little crabs like that. What generation waterman are you?
Well, both my grandfathers were, and probably at some point their fathers were too. So like at least 4.
Pretty much since watermen have been around.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and crab scraping, was probably the first commercial industry.
And you've lived on Smith Island your whole life?
Yeah. I've never lived anywhere else. It's changed a lot over the years, and like just like anywhere else, born and raised in a small town.
Yeah.
It's just a change is going to happen.
Right.
Pretty much every home you see on Smith Island was either built by for a waterman family, or for the people that service, like the store owners, and the freight captains, gas dock people.
They said that this is Smith Island retirement when you go buy the hydraulic mast and boom. So that's what we're after now. So what are the sizes of soft crabs?
3.5 to 4 inches is a medium, which is the smallest legal soft crab. This is the hotel prime, which is 4 to 4.5. Primes run from 4.5 to 5. Jumbos 5 to 5.5 inches. Then anything over 5.5 is what we sell as whales.
Yeah.
This job we're targeting crabs will be soft crabs. Some days we come by and they're all, a lot of them are paper shells.
Right.
Can't use them unless we got somebody who wants some fish bait.
There's a pretty rusty belly hard crab. Yeah. You had a couple legal crabs in that lake.
I did.
Well, if you have any soft crabs today or anything, let me know and I'll buy them. I sell them at the stand, but if not, it's all good. I mean, I know it's skinny.
Jay's gonna bring a group in tomorrow. He's gonna want to look at some water and soft.
Right. No, it's all good. I totally understand. I appreciate you letting me come on and talk to you. I really do.
I enjoyed it too.
Yeah, thank you. See you later. Thank you. Good luck.
You just need luck. Luck won't help him this year crabbing, unfortunately.
Did you guys catch any fish?
No. We tried. Fishing where we were, but we didn't find it.
Boy, we are not having the best luck this time between crabs, hard crabs, soft crabs, and fish. We may come home empty-handed.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, it's true. Jay's on the board. And the scraping really doesn't tear up the bottom. You'd think it would, but all this grass is grass that they've already worked. It doesn't really tear it out. It just kind of goes over it with those dredges. That's why they're so wide and thin and made out of lighter gauge metal with no teeth on them. Just to fold the grass over and coax the crabs into the net.
This is some of the prettiest grass in the Chesapeake Bay.
Yeah, it's there used to be grass like this everywhere. It's beautiful to see.
Isn't it ironic that where they're scraping, the grass
here
alive and
it's the
well,
same thing with
thriving.
oysters, where they power dredge and patent tong, where the wild oysters live better.
John, we're gonna head to the
John telling his wife he's on Smith Island. So Chloe's been missing. She was about to send out a silver alert for you, dude. Yeah. White 15-passenger van. Last seen at the marina.
We got a line out, dude.
Look at that. Had a line out. It actually caught a fish. I'm on the board now. We got the skunk off the boat. We're gonna have a good day fishing. All right, see you, Jay. Thanks, man. This is the boat yard. I guess they have a rail, probably. Guys working on their boat. Those are some pretty boats. Maybe my next boat's here. Who knows? What's going on? How you doing? What's going on? What's your name?
I'm Daniel Smith, and that's Dusty Smith. We're brothers.
Oh, nice to meet you guys. I'm Luke. This is John.
Is this your boat?
Yeah, you got Harvey's old boat.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I got Harvey's old boat.
All right, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Hey, you don't have to get up.
This was our dad's boat. We just
Nice to meet you, too.
Facebook.
Oh, awesome, man. I appreciate you watching. Oh, that's a nice boat.
Yep, he was Eugene Evans' first 42-foot boat.
Really? Yeah, that's nice. That's an all glass boat there. Can I walk up and check her out?
Yeah.
That's a beautiful boat there, man. I'd love to have a boat like that. Oh, man, this is my dream boat right here. Love to have an all glass 42 Evans. That's a beautiful thing. There's a scraping boat we were on this morning. What's going on?
How you doing, sir?
Pretty good. Good to see you today.
Here you were out with Mark this morning.
Yeah.
Word gets around fast.
Yeah.
I heard they all talk on the radio.
Where do you harbor at?
I'm in Pasadena, just above the Bay Bridge on the west side, actually.
We done that doubler run, that peeler run over there, just below the Patuxent Naval Base. That's where we just got done working.
You guys peeler pot out of this boat?
Well, we do it all out over. We oyster, hard crab, and peeler pot.
What you got in it for power?
375 John Deere. 21 years old though. We're holding your breath. Yeah, we're trying to take it easy on her.
Yeah. How many hours on her?
I don't even know.
The hour meter quit a long time ago, huh? 20,000? Yeah, I believe it. No rebuild?
No.
You gotta get your time out of her, you know?
Yeah. Our problem is it ain't nobody to work on anything no more.
Yeah.
Like, especially the John Deere.
Right. If you can't fix it yourself, you can't have it here,
Yeah,
you know?
no.
Anybody got any boats for sale around here?
And they were moving
boats like yours?
a week.
You want to sell yours?
Do I? No.
I don't blame you.
Not yet.
I'm looking for a boat like that,
Gotcha.
like a little bigger glass boat. Boat I have now is nice, but it's just a little tight. It's nice, but the bow's so low. You know, it doesn't have barely any rise to it. So, oh yeah, I lose a lot of days. She'll stuff the bow and like get stuck under the, you know, you'll get stuck in the next one. It's not good.
Now that boat you bought the Doral in, my dad and him grew up together. Matter of fact, them two boats tied up alongside each other.
Really, this boat and Dorland, really?
20 years.
20 years, wow.
It was a nice dad, bro.
It was a nice boat, and I tell you, I mean, she was in rough shape, but not near as bad as I thought. And the funny thing is, that thing
He's lucky he made
floating. But after I power washed it, it blew out like all the critters that were holding up, you know, barnacles and it up. And I thought she'll never float again.
How many times she sank in the harbor?
I know twice. There at the end, she sunk twice.
I think she sunk a couple times when she moved to Kent Island too.
She was sunk a bunch of times.
Yeah.
She looks good as a crab stand though. Did you see pictures?
Oh yeah, I've seen her.
Yeah, I've seen her.
I've seen her. He had one winter there. We got iced up. When it broke up, he called me and he says, "Chris, it's leaking a flood." What had happened is the ice, the water had got in between his bottom boards and his
froze up.
Froze and
pulled them apart.
So we had a 1/4 inch
all
the way down, third of the way down the starboard side and about halfway down the port side.
It looked like it had been refastened not that long ago. It had no nails in it.
Yeah, that was me.
You did that?
You did that, really? We were one of those. So there's some nice hardware in here, proper stuff.
Got to use stuff that is going to last. Even stainless steel, as you will know, weighed up after
The stainless isn't as all.
It's not created equal.
No, it's not. It's depending where you get it from.
Who built Dorland? Anybody know?
He built Delta Bill.
Yeah.
Can't remember the name of the builder. There was a bunch of that style of boat around here.
There's a whole, I've seen a couple, and they all look smack the same. The 46 Markley and the 42 Evans are two boats that I'll definitely sell mine to buy. Before you try to get one of them built now, it's a lot of money.
Oh.
Yeah.
$360,000.
Every bit of it.
Yeah,
I'd be hard pressed to justify a $500,000 investment with the way crab's been.
Yeah, right. Seriously, you can't justify spending $100,000 on a boat. They say the way to make $1 million crab and start with 2.
Yeah, really. That's the truth too.
Yep.
I like that winder you built.
Oh, what, the catfish winder? Oh yeah. Like the retaining wall. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah, we don't know for sure.
80 years that place has been there, he said. 80 years is brand new around here. A lot of Bradshaws, Tylers, and Marshalls. And Evans.
Kellett.
Yeah, Kellett. See ya. Time capsule house. Another interesting thing is that we're still on Smith Island, but right now we're in Virginia. And 100 yards ago we were in Maryland. But we're still within Smith Island. So it actually spans 2 states. 8/10 of it is Maryland. Nobody lives on Smith Island in Virginia. It's just flat land and marsh. But there is a couple duck blinds. I'm wondering, do you have to have a Virginia hunting license to hunt on the south side of Smith Island and a Maryland license to hunt on the north side? Drop a comment, let me know. That is Tangier Island, which is an island very similar to Smith Island, but it's in Virginia. And if you saw Mr. Beast's video about buying an island for $1, it was there on Tangier that he did it. He didn't actually buy it, by the way. John finally getting his fish. A nice trout. Man, that's a really nice trout. Look at that thing. Well, looks like we're not going home empty-handed. John finally caught his fish. He's been waiting the whole trip to do that.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Nice trout.
That is a nice trout.
Probably.
We gonna eat it?
Yeah, we're gonna eat it. What do you think?
I think we should eat it.
Yeah, that's a nice trout.
It is a little hard to believe that we went to literally the crab capital of the world, which is Crisfield and Smith Island, and cannot find a crab. It's a little sad. We may still find some in Crisfield when we get back. There's the ferry boat that goes to Smith Island every day at 12:30. It's got old Jay's paying customers on it. Well, all the fishing I've done, and all I caught was this lousy crab. But hey, oh no, got away, it took the bait. That was the only crab that we would have managed to get off of Smith Island. Well, we left Smith Island and we fished a little bit on the way back to Crisfield here. I caught an oyster toad. I did catch a toadfish. But we have had a tough time fishing, and there's even less crabs apparently because there was about a dozen soft crabs on all of Smith Island. I'm talking the crab capital of the actual world. There was about a dozen soft crabs and about a half a bushel of hard crabs from every crab potter combined. We stopped over there at the place full of shedding tanks, and they do not have any soft crabs to buy. We've had a lot of successes. We've met a lot of really awesome people. We've had some good conversations.
Learned a few things.
Definitely learned a few things. In terms of getting a hold of some crabs to make up for the days I didn't go crabbing, it's been a bit of a bust.
At least you're not living on Smith Island trying to make
yeah, right, seriously. Quit whining about how bad the crabbing is, at least for the next week where I'm at, because man, after seeing what those guys aren't catching, it seems like I'm doing pretty good. It was like every crabber on the island was working to try to get Jay a full bushel of crabs so that his workshop students could eat them. The top of the food chain is crabs, and then everything else depends on the crabs being there for every other system to work on the island, for everybody else to have a job for the most part. Yeah, I really do hope it turns around for them. Not great to see these guys struggling. They're hopeful though, and there's a lot of little crabs which they're hopeful for that we saw. Yeah, that is true. There's nothing out there. There's barely any Wi-Fi, no cell service, about 150 people combined between the three islands. Generally, they seem to be very happy and content with the way things are going, which is an overarching silver lining, I'd say. I mean, I'm catching more than that, and I wasn't appreciating it, that's for sure. They just seem to appreciate the things they do have and the times when it's really good. The times they're bad, their attitudes are generally pretty good. They're just hopeful for it getting better. Definitely a lesson. And hey, I learned a few things too. Just talking to these guys, tell you what, the most valuable thing that you have is time. So if somebody is willing to give it to you, you may as well take it. Do not take that for granted. Even if you think they're wrong, which I didn't think any of these guys were wrong, but even if you think they're wrong, then you should still take time to hear them out within reason, I think. But learning from these guys from ground zero that have been catching crabs longer than I've even been a twinkle in my old man's eye, you'll learn a few things here and there. I got to meet some really, really cool people, see some really cool stuff, and I'm itching to go back, honestly. I feel like I made friends there already. Plenty of opportunity to visit Smith Island and experience it. So I highly encourage people to do that. Awesome food too. All the food's homemade because there's like no restaurants. So we just got back from Crisfield, and the ironic thing is I have more giant soft crabs in my shedding tank that I'm losing out on because now they're paper shelled because I went to Crisfield. Then we're on the entire of Smith Island. It's crazy. Never would have guessed that in a million years, but that's kind of a Luke journey in a nutshell. Go all the way to the crab capital of the world to find more crabs in my own tank that I missed out on. Hey, we had an adventure. It was a good time. The most tragic part about all of this is that my electric wire broke. My ugly stick. I can't believe it. I thought these were the unbreakable legends. Son of a gun. Well, you know what they say. If you don't go on a wild, harebrained, unplanned, spur-of-the-moment adventure all the way to the crab capital of the world, to the last inhabited island in Maryland, only to find 0 crabs and 0 fish, then to come home to your own place and find more crabs that you missed out on because you were in pursuit of other crabs. You ain't no crabber. Thanks for letting me talk you into this ridiculousness. Thanks for going with me.
Good. It's all good.
We had a good time. We even caught, well, a couple fish, sort of. Still put them in the boat. It's all that counts. John and I are kind of like Pinky and the Brain. Drop a comment if you know who Pinky and the Brain are.
All in all, that was a major success. Super awesome time. Met a bunch of great people. Smith Island is literally, if you can imagine going back in time, just turning the dial back like 50 years, it is literally like being transported 50 years ago. It's super insane. We caught one fish. We did not buy any soft crabs. We did not buy any hard crabs. And we did not meet Dora Lynn, because Dora Lynn has lived on Smith Island her entire life and moved off 4 days ago to Crisfield. I had her whole life and I missed her by 4 freaking days. Pretty insane. What are the chances of that? So we didn't check every box, but I'm calling it a win.